I went out and bought a few books. I bought this book. Try not to shake it around too much so that you can see which one I bought. And I also bought this one. So, uh, and then I went for not sure how many days it was. I think it was 4 days, and I had received this book with a few other gifts, and we had each gotten a basket with a number of things in it, and this is one book what was in that, amongst other things. And these other two books, haven't read them all the way through, but I do like what what they're about and what they're teaching. This book, I would even suggest for you to go get. If you're able to buy it, I'd, I'd buy it if I was you guys. It was a gift to me, and at that time, it was not on the market. You were not able to buy it at that time. If it's on the market now, I don't know. Uh, if you're able to find it, buy it. That would be my suggestion. These other two books, well, that's up to you if you'd want to buy it or not. Um, I think they're pretty good books. Nothing against them anyway. And depends on what you already know. My mentor has taught me a lot of the things what are in these other two books already. It's good to have reminders, hear it in different ways. Sometimes it happens, someone can teach you something and they can spend a lot of time teaching you it. And it can take them a long time. They try to say it as simple as possible, the best way to understand it, everything they possibly can. And sometimes you don't understand. You think you do, but then if you hear it from another from someone else in a different way or even in the same way, sometimes you're not ready to hear it. Sometimes you think it means something very vague, not really doesn't sink in. It just you hear it, but you didn't pay attention or didn't understand it or something like that. And when it does finally hit you that you do realize it, then you'll understand it, like coming from whoever. There was a lady, what was on a show talking, and she shared a story. Her husband was trying to uh, get them both to eat healthy, and he had all the reasons and stuff, like all the benefits and things like that. That's what they should do. And I guess she never thought anything of it. So one day, I guess one of her friends had told her about her diet, like the way she was eating and how it was helpful and benefit and things like that. So then she takes that knowledge and goes to her husband and says to her husband, "Oh, we should eat like this and eat the healthy foods like that." And he responds, "Well, I've been trying to tell you for 3 years that I guess not with everything or to everyone, but there are times that does happen. And even if you want to learn, you're trying to pay attention, uh, a lot of times you think it means something when you have this understanding and thought what the meaning was, is so surface level and such surface level where it is almost no meaning whatsoever. And when it finally comes to where you actually understand and fully understand all of it, where it makes a life-changing difference, that's when you have a full understanding. And it can be the first time you hear it, it can be much later, sometimes it can be from somewhere else or where you read it or whatever it may be. Um, if you have a mentor, and especially if there's, like he teaches you, and if you have it recorded, let's say he has recordings, and you can go back and listen to the same thing again, what he's already told you. And later on, with constantly listening to it again and again and again, you'll understand a little bit more, a different part of it more, uh, and eventually you'll understand a lot more. And as you do that, then future stuff, a lot of times that you have an understanding of his way of thinking, and therefore the future things he tells you, you have a more quick understanding. I think having a mentor is very important. Without a mentor, you're whatever you try to do, you end up starting before the beginning. And why I say that is because at the beginning is when you're starting to build something, you're starting to achieve something, that's the beginning. That's when you have a mentor and he's teaching you, you do things what he has already succeeded with and how he does things to have his success. That would be your beginning. If you don't have a mentor, you'll make a lot of mistakes, which can help you learn. It's the hard way to learn. Unfortunately, it's also a very slow way to learn. You can make that same mistake many times and then not even realize uh, how much of a mistake it is, or what the mistake is that is not successful. And making mistakes is a great way for learning. At least a mentor can tell you what went wrong there so that you can learn from it. Without a mentor, uh, if you're not quick to understand what's working, what's not working, and where it went wrong, you can repeat that same mistake many times for a long time before you finally realize it. I've noticed, and I'm very grateful and thankful to my mentor because I didn't have any sales experience, and I'm so glad that I turned to him instead of uh, getting all these bad habits. Now, when I see someone sell something, I hear things, um, and they think they're fairly well already, and they, to some extent, they are really good. They have the confidence. They're not afraid from rejection. Those are great things. Uh, a lot of times they're very needy, and um, I like to call it salesy. I'm not quite sure how you call that, but where they're trying to have the energy for you, and it's great to have energy and be happy and things like that. You can overdo it, and especially if you do it in a needy way, it's a turn off. And I see it at times there. They do these things, and it's an actual turn off. Not all of it, but some of what they're doing. And if they made a few adjustments, just small adjustments, where the needy would go away, that they weren't needy, the energy was a little more controlled and more balanced towards the customer or prospect. Um, and then also with their tonality and things like that, that they went according to what the prospect was, and they they know about different types of people. At the same time, they're still trying to be one type of person and trying to use that skill with all the rest of the types of people. And I see the struggles in it. Um, there's a few guys, but are working really hard at it to do their sales and things like that. And I've met a few of them, or became friends with a few of them, and I would like to turn them to my mentor, and I'm not sure how to do that because they have had some success, and with that, I'm not sure if they can hear me when I tell them. So I'd have to try to come up with a way to be able to get them to hear it. Maybe if we get into a certain conversation, I could bring up the sales. I could ask them how they do it, I guess, and things like that, and see if we can get into the subject of it, right? Um, I would like to help them because what I have learned for someone who was really driven and really like out there trying to make it work and things like that, it would be so helpful, so very helpful. And so books can help you, gives you some knowledge and things like that. Uh, it's it's a book, so it can't see what you're doing. It can't hear what you're telling it. If you have questions, it won't respond either. So a mentor is the way to go. And I would say choose your mentor wisely. Um, what drew me to my mentor is I was watching him, I was uh, just seeing his stuff, and his finesse drew me to him. If he was all salesy and all trying to get all flashy and things, and shiny object thing, whatever, to try to get my attention, uh, he wouldn't have gotten my attention. And so I would say someone was really trying to get attention, someone was really trying to get mentees and things like that, like working really hard at it. I don't really want to say don't choose that but guy, uh, but maybe pay a little more attention before you do choose them. Because the way he's trying to get your attention, that's his method of selling to prospects or to customers. And then pay attention to yourself as how do you feel? Not only your need, like maybe you need to become a salesperson or someone who's selling, and now you're looking for someone to teach you. That's that's the part what will sell you to take a mentor or someone who's out there to teach you. That should not be the part what makes you do the choice. So look into a number of people first, and then when they this had happened, uh, oh, free this and free that, read the fine print. When it comes to free, especially if you're able to start a course or whatever and it's all free, is it only free for 30 days, or and then what is the price after free, you know? So I'm not saying, oh, take only free stuff and if it has a price, don't take it. No, I actually suggest taking something what has a price. Don't look for something what's free. You want something with what has value, and the person who is charging you, who is going to be your mentor, has enough confidence in his skills and at the level he's at that people can learn and get to that level as well. So he can put a price on it. And if, let's say, for example, it's $50,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't think the courses are to that expense, but um, university or anything else like student loans, I've heard that they've been in the hundreds, so like in the 100,000 or beyond. So even if you see one what is 50,000, as long as you do your homework and see the value in that person, what he's doing, how he's selling, how do you feel? Do you feel like buying all his stuff, like, or do you feel like he's too full of energy or too colorful or too, and colorful I mean just flashy, like you could, you're selling a car but you got a bunch of women around you, or things like that. Like, yeah, I guess whatever. It's not really, like, women are not really cars, but I guess you could relate it somehow. It really doesn't make sense for it to be um, the main thing for selling a car. Now, some people might want whatever kind of car just to attract women. Who knows? Like, many people have different reasons to buy a car. Or have some kind of wrestling match, or this or that, or a bunch of balloons, or this, and it really doesn't have anything to do with cars, it's just to get your attention. And that's, if you're into that kind of stuff, okay, choose that guy. I would say rather choose a guy what finds a good way to connect to people, a good way uh, to not only get them interested but also stay interested. A guy what you you're interested in, and you look into what he does, and then you get involved, you get him as a mentor, and you're always wanting more, you're always happy with it. That's the guy you want. You don't want to get into something or that it's supposed to be a quick decision or something like that. And if you want to make a quick decision, go right ahead. I'm just saying that you don't get tricked into it and then later on, like maybe a week later or something, you want to cancel or something. Oh, if that happens, then obviously you didn't choose the right person. It should be that you've done everything with him and you still want more. You still want him to stay your mentor. You still want, and you don't regret nothing. And even if there's others who try to say, oh, that's a scam or this or that. Well, if school is a scam, if education is a scam, then the whole world would have closed all the schools and uh, universities and colleges. Everything would be closed. If they were all a scam, they wouldn't exist. And it's been existing for who knows how many years. So now to have a mentor, it makes no sense for it to be a scam. A mentor can do a lot more than any school can do.